Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz. Że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej. By być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Witamy wszystkich na 408 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy czwartek, 22 październik 2020 rok. Tematem jest tłumaczenie kolejnego wykładu. Jest to 350 warsztat poszukiwaczy wiedzy. Jest to tłumaczenie z języka angielskiego na język polski. A przetłumaczony na dzisiaj czas to jest od 6 minut 58 sekund do godziny 11 minut 27 sekund. I jeszcze jeden mamy fragment, który nie jest tu zapisany, ale to jest od godziny 44 minut do 2 godzin. Tak więc zapraszam bardzo serdecznie do wysłuchania, obejrzenia, a po warsztacie zapraszam do rozmów, zadawania pytań, na które postaramy się odpowiedzieć. Tak więc zaczynamy.
Quite ready yet.
Hello, yes, good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers of Keshe Foundation. I was trying to get in It's just that you put me on mute. I couldn't get break in. That's why I couldn't get in. Thank you very much for today. As we announced last week that Keshe Foundation is launching that every city will have one system of enhancement unit, and this will be part of our work from now on to make sure every citizen on this planet has the right to receive the benefit of this technology. Many of you have been trying to raise funds to meet the minimum demand of the work of the foundation. And in that process, you have worked, or you're trying to find other people to participate. To make this easier for all the knowledge seekers, we advise you to do as we've done with the others, to just go to the Keshe Foundation website where the enhancement unit is and put what you want to put for a unit for the country you want to participate. And as people from different parts of the world and different cities of the same area would like to participate in that, we add it up and we tell you what it is. The Keshe Foundation will make a platform, how much is received from which country, and then you can put how much you want to put in and the way it goes. Maybe you live in another country, but you want a system somewhere else. So we try to develop a way that we all participate in it. On the other hand, the work of the foundation carries on the same. As we know, and if you have been in the past two teachings of the American teachings, the Persian teachings, and one planet, one race, one nation, Keshe Foundation, as we said, from 21st of this month, which is from next week, will go into a new phase, 5-month phase of a deep space teaching. That's what we said. The teaching will change. And what this means is that the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers will be able to be taught, and we think we have reached that level of understanding for all of us, the way to survive in space. It is easy to fly. It is easy. It is easy to take off and go somewhere. But what is the outcome of going somewhere? What would you see? How will you survive? How you interact with the environment? What is the purpose of this travel? What is going to happen to your body? What is going to happen to the environment you arrive? The way we care what we do on this planet, when we arrive in a destination, our presence can be a joy and adding to, or our presence with the field we carry, with the amino acid strength we carry, can be a poison to the citizens of the position. We do not get there to learn. We have to learn before we get there. And this is the purpose of the teachings in the next 5 months. As I was explaining some knowledge seekers, what happens to your body? Your amino acid has a hydrogen combination, has a nitrogen combination. And in a given destination, nitrogen is in the form of liquid. Nitrogen cannot exist. The magnetic field of the nitrogen is something which the position does not create. Does your life end? Or you don't enter? Or you enter a position that it brings demise of your life? Or other conditions. This is the purpose of the teaching from now on, in preparing mankind to be able to survive in the span of the universe. This is why we taught you the making of the 5 cups, for you to become aware of the interaction of the fields of the environment, the interaction of the materials of the environment, the strength of your own existence and material and the fields which you are created out of. Now you understand where the extension and the merger of the teachings come together. Many of it, for many of you, will be theoretical teaching because you cannot see it. But in entering the enhancement units, in traveling with the systems which are equipped with the enhancement units, makes life, understanding of life, understanding of the living in the depth of the space, essential. You got to realize that mankind has become, in the past years, travel of its own space by aircrafts, travel of the space by going to the moon, and now travels of the space by being able to go beyond the boundary with the gaining of the new knowledge. We lay down the foundation for this work. We lay down the foundation for man to be able to travel in the depth of space. And this is the reason we brought you the understanding of gravity, magnetic field, inertia, the physicality of yourself, what energies hold your physicality together in communication with each other, which you call the soul of physicality, and a total field interaction of your physicality, what we call the soul of the man, with its environment. You got to realize, as many of you have not understood, your soul is the solar system of your existence. Your physicality is that earth, is that moon, is that Saturn within that structure. And now that man becomes a partner in depth of the space with the universal community to explore every corner of this universe, man needs to know what is there for it to be ready to see, to fulfill, to protect, and to be as one with the rest of the creation of the Creator. You will see that the development of the new technology makes it essential for all those who take steps to leave this planet to understand that they need a next step, next structure, next development in protecting the soul of the man and the environment that the soul can exist within the new environment that the man arrives in. We don't put you in a spacesuit. You make yourselves environment that your soul can exist, protected, but at the same time being able to survive, collaborate, and enjoy different conditions of the universe. The development of the new deep space technology from now on for the next 5 months will bring mankind ready to be able not only to take off from this planet, not only go to the moon, not only go to the Mars, not only go to beyond other stars and galaxies, but to be able to walk on them, to be able not only be trapped in the spacesuit or in the spaceship, but learn how to change the characteristics, mutation of his own soul strength, that it can exist and operate without the environment. All these knowledge takes man centuries to understand. But in the teaching of today and in coming time, we will lay the foundation of it. As I explained to some of the knowledge seekers in past recent time, when you go to the space and you are fed and you are given the energies that you keep the dimension of your physicality, would you need the blood circulation? Would you need the eyesight to see? Would you need the ear to hear? Do you need the stomach, the liver, and the kidney? When you have no blood to operate, is there a need for the heart of the man? Then where does the soul of physicality go? Those we see who travel the depth of the universe and land on the shores of this planet have been through it. In so many ways, they adapt, they transmute into the shape of the man. Then they land on this planet, not to change when they arrive. In so many ways, as you want to become a marathon runner, you go through the training to learn how to do, how to run, where to stop, and what to take care of. Those who travel the shores of this planet, and we see them in the form of mainly human shape, or those near to human shape, they have gone through the transmutation of their souls prior to landing on this planet. Mankind needs to learn that. Mankind needs to learn to use the strength of his soul to the strength of the survival of the position, to conversion of the shape of the man, to the dimension of the physicality of his existence. Which means you will exist in the environment prepared for it. As you wear a spacesuit to go to space, you change the conversion of the strength of the soul to fit the environment of the earth when you land. With that enforces by itself 2 legs, 2 arms, an eye look. But in a way, you live through the eye of the soul of the presence. Mankind has not moved in the first step to understanding soul, let alone to be able to use mutation of the strength of his soul to convert itself to the existence of the position and the presence. These are the teachings which will come in the coming months. Many of it very radical. Many of it you have never heard of, but you have to, and you have to be prepared if you see the future of the man in a deep space. There is no end to the resources of the creation. In the coming time, We will show how you can produce any elements, as we have shown before. We will show how you can overcome any diseases, which is amino acid based, and any change in the strength of the fields as viruses. And then in this process, mankind learns how to use the energy of the universe for its own existence, for interaction of the fields, for confirmation of his presence of his soul. Mankind has to learn two fundamental points as he's aware, but he needs to understand. One is how to create the interaction with the soul of its physicality, with the soul of itself. That in interaction of the two and the interaction of the third creates the condition of the existence in the presence of the dimension of the field. Which means if mankind learns to take the soul of physicality without the dimension of physical dimension, then in interaction with his soul and as a solar system in interaction with the soul of the environment, man will fit into any dimension in the universe. In the back end of the 5 months, I will introduce physical systems that mankind can go through the transmutation. In the latter part of the development, you'll be introduced to systems that you have never seen, but they'll become part of the norm of the space travel. The teaching in the coming weeks will be so advanced that many of you will not be able to follow, and it'll take many of you months, years, and centuries of understanding through your development of the consciousness of the existence of your soul and your children and your offsprings. The teachings of coming months is not for instantaneous absorption and understanding, but is the guideline and a message for the travelers of the future on earth and beyond. As I said to the Iranian knowledge seekers, we are the messengers of the universe, not the Mahdi or Messiah. If that's what you see we thought, that's the shortcoming of your own understanding. As we are, as we said from the beginning, we are the messengers of the universe. We carry the knowledge of the creation from the beginning to the end. We manifest ourselves in physicality of the man and speak the language of the man. But in essence, we are not. We are the soul from the soul of the Creator. And we teach according to the knowledge of the space, time, in the language of the places, Messiahs, be it Christ, Muhammad, or Jesus, or Moses, or whatever you call. But in essence, we are the messengers of the universe, which means we teach what the races how to learn to exist within the span of the universe. Each planet, each solar system is like a little village with their own tradition and their own ways. And messengers of the universe, we bring all to understand one common language and speak and behave in that dimension. My work to complete the work of the past messengers is completed. And now my true essence and the reason we came will be taught in the coming months. How to take man and humanity from the village of the earth and teach it how to become a citizen of the universe. Up to now, we completed what Moses, Muhammad, and Christ and other scientists on this planet did not complete, that we bring you to the platform, zero platform, of the knowledge of the universe. Teachings from next week on will be very much in the depth of the understanding of the motion of the oceans of the fields of the universe. How would you like to come out of? As a mermaid, as a fish, or as a man? You choose. From now on, if you learn that dimension, living on this planet will become easier because your understanding of the higher order becomes the norm. You played with Ganses, you played with everything else, but ask yourself, why did we teach this? Why did we bring it this way? Why have we introduced enhancement units? Why have we introduced new understanding of the new physics, chemistry, biology as a collective one science? Is mankind who has pigeonholed his level of understanding. Single interactions have become a physicist, and double interactions have become chemists, and triple interactions and fourth have become biologists. But in essence, there is all one. As I said to the Iranian community, you keep your Mahdi and Messiahs, that's your job. But understand what is to come and evolve, that you can survive the span of the universe as your soul, or interaction of your soul of physicality and the soul of the man as one being across the span of the universe. Mankind has not managed to overcome what we call zero gravity, few kilometers away from itself in what they call the space trap. Mankind has not managed to walk on the surface of the moon without equipment. Mankind has not managed even to reach moon in instantaneous existence on both dimensions of Earth and the moon. And it still needs days and days to travel to reach even to the closest object to this planet. Now teaching the man to be able to travel the span of the universe in a snap of a finger is very far-fetching. But in time to come, those who elevated the knowledge of the universe will show the others the true job of now taking mankind into universal community starts in the coming weeks, as we promised. And the knowledge will be very sweet, very short, but in depth, that it needs the true understanding and unraveling the what we call the essence of the creation in the dimension of interaction of the fields of the universe. And those who elevate to understand how its order meets their creator in essence of their soul. Now, in the coming weeks, coming months, we make you to understand and comprehend. We teach you and guide you to be able to go through the transmutation of the energies of the universe. We'll show you through enhancement centers how you will interact, how you will come in touch with the men of the universe, with the creatures of the Creator. Some of the enhancement units in the specific positions with collaboration of the governments will be made as a point of interaction between the governments and the system of the universe. As I said in Universal One Planet, One Nation teaching, will bring the world leaders to negotiate the path through for the full interaction and interface between the humanity and universal community within the coming months. And as I said, the interim course and interim people who we trust that will see this transaction through will be the members of the Universal Council, the Earth Council, and the Motions who've been elevated to that point. The true work of the what we call very few becomes apparent in the coming time. We will manifest in some of the enhancement units the presence of those who you call aliens, that we can see them, we trust them, and in the process, within the structure of the enhancement units, we create a condition that the soul of the man meets with the soul of the presence of the man of the space within the systems. We make the enhancement units the point of interaction, where we create a condition for existence of both lives of the man and the man of the universe in the true essence of their creation to negotiate, to understand, and make the path easy for the rest of the humanity to go through the process of what we call the unification of the soul of the man with the rest of the universe. We'll appoint a number of world leaders we trust to head these negotiations through the Universal Council members. As I said, many world leaders will go into these units and become the negotiators between the man and the universal community. If you understand, we announced the 5-seater systems. That's not for the flight of the man into the positions of this planet, but is there as a point for the leaders of this planet to meet with the leaders of the universal community appointed delegations to negotiate the path, to teach the man the way, to change the behavior of the animals on this planet, to change the condition that the earth become a peaceful planet without the need for abuse, a planet without the leadership, a planet where every man leads their own lives. The enhancement units which you place in different parts of this planet is the way that we elevate the soul of this planet, that the man in totality can come in interface with the reality of his own existence and universal community. If the world leaders decide to put all divisions and make one nation of this planet, that be taught the knowledge that brings prosperity and peace and wealth of the wisdom of the knowledge to every citizen of this planet. Not only man, but those who live here amongst us, as different names we have chosen for them as the lions and the lamb. The teachings and demonstration of the use of the enhancement unit for point of meeting by the world leaders and the universal community will be extended to the point that most of the citizens of this planet will become part of it, because their soul creates part of the soul of the creation of this planet. In so many ways, as I said in other teachings, mankind will move in a totally different direction in the coming weeks and months, where financial structure man has created will have no meaning. The cities that you have built will become a place of history, where the man lives, where his soul is happy, where the man is in love, with giving and taking from the creation and the creator. In so many ways, we will turn on the speed up, as in 5 months, to teach mankind the first alphabet of the life in the universe needs a lot of understanding. Devotion to peace, devotion to unity, and devotion to be able to accept what comes from the beauty of the joining such a vast ocean of knowledge, which is being kept away from man by the man's misconduct itself. What would be the outcome of all these works depends primarily on knowledge seekers who have been in the forefront, those who have taken steps to make sure that knowledge, not only through the term of physicality, but through the soul of the man, has a step in equal fairness and justice. What we have taught you is in fact the structure of your own existence in the universe. Do not forget, I'm made man in the image of myself. And this image has to live both the dimension of physicality and the soul. And mankind will be taught how to be able to use this physical dimension for existence of his soul in many dimensions. Loving becomes part of the life. Living is to love. And this means giving unconditionally, not only for the human race, but beyond. As I've said many times, I have no fear of leaving the physical dimension of the body of the man. But the responsibility is there to teach, to complete the mission that one can live in peace. And in the coming weeks and months, we'll teach that way. It will shake the cornerstones of the creation of the life on this planet, the structures you set as citizens, your banking system, your social structures, your health, where no man will get sick anymore, as on the primary energy transfers will bring the balance to the soul and the physicality. This is what man has never learned and has been in fear of his existence. He has made temples and statues and worshipped different lights to safeguard from it, but he never understood he could use his own soul as the light of the existence to overcome. We have taught you many things in a very simple way that as many people could learn. We have shown you many things. From now on, those were there for you to complete, to understand your own structure, your own working. Now you learn about the working of the universe, where the light of the existence, what you call the soul of the man, is the cornerstone of every existence and every dimension. Mankind will learn to exist in different dimensions. In so many ways. Rick, can you allow me into the second channel entry, please? I cannot share the screen on the second
Um, just trying to see, maybe Stanley can help with that. We've got asked to unmute. Is that what you like? Or you need to have allow panelists to start the video? Is that what you need?
It's okay. It's opened up.
Okay.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. In so many ways, mankind has to understand the next step in evolution. An evolution of the soul of the man, and with it, to understand the position of the soul of the man. And in that process, mankind has to become evolved in knowledge, in a new knowledge, new technologies which is unknown. But in that process, we try to teach both. in so many ways. The soul of a man becomes images of the physicality of the man, but not the physical existence. Our soul becomes another star in the totality of the creation. But in essence, it might keep the image of its origin, where man stays in total transparency of the fields without the dimension of physical existence. If we look in the depth of the oceans of the life and physicality of the man, every organ of the man has a center point, which creates the condition for its life. And in that process, it creates to be like a star. If we take the physical structure of the man, the way we see it, and keep these points, the center points, the stars, the soul of the kidney, the liver, the heart, and the rest, what we see nothing but a galaxy of stars, different strength, but in fact, in totality, very much the shape of the man. In essence, humanity or mankind would see himself, his physicality, as another galaxy, a collection of stars. And by feeding from soul to each cell, to each star, can change the condition. Then mankind will find that the life becomes indefinite. Life becomes mortal. But man, to live that life, he needs to understand the work of the field of the universe. Interesting time ahead for the man and mankind to open new universities, to open new institutes, to learn more about the energy fields of his life and his existence in the universe, and spend time and contemplate and how these energies can be used not only for the benefit of the mankind, but the citizens of the universe. In the coming time, many of you in my lifetime will embrace many of those who you call aliens, with love and care the way you do with your lovers, your children, and your parents. As you realize we're all made of the same, and we all participate in one dimension and direction for everlasting confirmation of the existence of the Creator. Nothing else. In the coming weeks, we will show new materials. In the coming weeks, we show you materials which belong to the deeper space and never seen on this planet, for man to learn new ways, to bring you what I call the beauty of the man, what you call industrialization, the application of the new knowledge for the benefit of the others. This is one of the beauties of the mankind, that it can convert the knowledge to an existing formation of the things that can be enjoyed and can be used by the others to enjoy. Small tools or the most advanced systems in the universe. In a way, mankind, beauty and ability to be able to change and convert the knowledge of the universe into systems and equipments that others can be enjoyed is the cornerstone and the beauty of this race. Not only loving, but being able to translate, add, and conform and confirm different ways of enjoying the beauty of what has been created. Industrial revolution in the level of the universe will create so much joy and bring so many to this planet that the earth will become the cornerstones of what we call industrialization of the universe, for them to see and confirm the beauty of the existence of the Creator and nothing else. Mankind does not only have the ability to love, but has the ability to convert their knowledge into physical things, as you call it, the cars and the others. But in the universe, this is a rarity. It's a very rare thing to find races who do these things. Majority of the races use the energy fields to transfer. Mankind has the beauty of translating and transferring materials into physical, tangible beauty. This is why many travelers of the universe come to this planet to love and learn what you call industrialization, what we call the conversion of the thoughts and the fields of the Creator into beautiful objects that can be enjoyed across the universe, where they can be shown. Interpretation of the change of the fields to physical dimensions of anything is one of the beauties of the man's race. And in one way or another, this race going much faster in that direction, in the dimension of understanding that the conversion and creation, than any other race in the universe. Maybe this race is blessed by the presence of the Creator in the past decade. Mankind will show its beauty, not only in loving, but in a new dimension to teach. Everything is not bad with this planet, even though it looks to its citizens. We have come to bring peace and prosperity to the race of man. And in that process seen many harms, but we forgive, but not forget. We teach you how to use the positions in the universe to tap into the energies and materials and the beauties of that point without ever traveling to the point. In a way, you don't deplete, but you make the replication of that position at the point of the presence of the soul of the man. Which means every material in the dimension of the creation will be available to man. Every field will be available to man at the point of the need. The way you tap into and get your copper from Africa into Europe to make your cups, now you do the same, but through the transmutation of the fields from far distant stars. You don't mind, but you transfer energies to create that condition. We use the position as the reference and you create conditions within the structure of your own existence to replicate that field that on earth will show itself in a new condition. We will teach you how the materials that you see in the other parts of the universe to be manufactured and to be used on this planet by creating a field dimension transparent that you can manipulate the material, but they still exist within their own environments, but within the environment of the presence of this planet. What does this mean? Is literally being able to produce the material in a spacesuit where you can put your hand in it, but both exist, the environment of the material for its dimension to confirm and for you to be able to manipulate to show its beauty. In the past few weeks, a number of knowledge seekers who've been enlightened have tested and confirmed with the support of the Keshe Foundation to reaching these mutation points of energies. Many of you will be lost in the maze of the knowledge to come. But if you listen to this knowledge through the soul of your existence, you will receive the knowledge and translate it into the dimension of the soul of physicality if need be. In a way, we leave a recording of the knowledge and teaching within your souls. And it's for you to be able to tap onto it. As a knowledge seeker said, I don't even know where is my soul, let alone trying to work with it. You become aware of your soul when you mature to the point of understanding of devotion and detachment. We will introduce technologies that allows you to coexist with your soul and physicality in the dimension of the fields and not in the dimension of matter state, that you gradually come to understand and operate within the two and convert as need be. Initially, we'll show these in the enhancement units. And then, as you learn how to do it, as I said before, like going to a driving lessons and learning how to drive a car, we will teach you in these enhancement units and a specific construction of them to be able to see, to embrace your soul. I made a promise to one knowledge seeker. You should be able to embrace the soul of your loved ones. To find peace, to find a new dimension of existence. Many of you will be waiting to see the soul of your sons, your wives, your parents, which have departed times ago. In the coming time, we'll be setting up the enhancement units. This become possible. One of the knowledge seekers in the purity of heart has already achieved this. Many other knowledge seekers have touched it, and the strength of it have frightened them. Now this become a norm. As we understand that life is not in the dimension of physicality, but is in the dimension of the soul of the existence, in any position in the universe. As I said, we start laying out what is to come in the next 5 months, before 21st of March 2020, human calendars of Christianity. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. And once again, as usual, I remind the attendees they can put their virtual hands up to ask a question. We did have a question in the YouTube from Dynamic Soul, who says, question, Mr. Keshe, if you can use the enhancement unit to interact with the universal community, can you also use it to find people who have been kidnapped and to find the perpetrator?
Yes. This is part of the beauty of this technology. Many world leaders and criminal organizations around the world will fight for these systems not to be shown, as their conduct will be opened up. This is what we said. We bring in the justice by true operation of the soul. These sharing of the knowledge and technologies will be done. We'll bring it into the court of justice that no man can lie. As one knowledge seeker said, I cannot lie, you see my soul.
Mr. Keshe, what would happen if someone, a bad guy, tried to use the enhancement unit to find someone to kidnap them, the other way around? Would
This
that be
is not possible.
Yeah, right.
These things you will understand. The wrong intentions will not be possible. Mankind will understand. Because working through the soul, nothing is hidden. As I said before, very soon, courts, prisons, hospitals will be left in the doldrums of history of America.
Mr. Keshe, we have a good question from Chris Dyke in the YouTube.
This side is a good one.
Okay, that's for sure. He says, the soul is central to the teachings. Can you tell us the levels of soul awareness that one can attain?
All of it depends on your acknowledgement of existence. It's you who puts the limitation. we choose the level of the peacefulness. We choose the level of love and care. We choose how much knowledge we want to have.
Speaking of love and care, we have a question from Gatwa, or a hand up from Gatwa.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Keshe. I can't hear you very well, but I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you very well.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I want to thank you very much for your excellent teaching. And I have a question about the application for enhancement unit through Keshe Foundation website. Last week, you had said that those who want for their cities should contribute, and then you see what they have, and then you would match what they contribute and maybe even match them 10 times.
Keshe Foundation is prepared to participate up to 90 to 95% in a special case. We will never meet the 100% commitment. This is one of my principles.
Okay, thank you very much.
Special cases, locations, we will match, we will participate.
Thank you for your generous offer. Now, when we apply
Not
online,
offer, we collectively own the foundation, but we have to manage it.
yes, thank you for that. When we apply through the website, and you said that we should indicate our countries, then that removes the idea of cities. Because, for example...
No, wait, Dr. Gatwa, we have to make this very clear. Maybe somebody from New York wants to put $1,000, and somebody puts $1,000 from LA. This to us becomes the state of the United States, and collectively, then the Universal Council decides which city will benefit the majority of that nation. Maybe they choose Dallas, that everyone can reach. We look at it as a collectively, and this is why the position of Universal Council and cooperation with the Earth Council does not mean that the capitals will receive the first unit. So when we say one city is one city in the nation.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Any other question? This is why we bring the collaboration of the Earth Council and the Universal Council. Now you understand how forward we have planned everything. We know these things are coming up, so it needs collaboration. If you're a Spanish speaking and you live in Mexico, the Council for South American continent is responsible to negotiate with the Spanish speaking member of the Universal Council, where the two seats fit, plus the bishop, the citizens of that nation. Then the foundation will abide by the wishes. What is interesting and what will be very interesting for many of you is the fact that if you understood the game of the totality, would you participate only for your nation, or you put into the funds for the Universal Council and Earth Council decides where is the priority, or where they want to see the system to be first, that it helps more. Then that brings another point of maturity of the soul. This is when we become citizens of this planet and one, not a nation or a piece of area where we live in. And I was hoping that the knowledge seekers will come to that themselves. In a way, believing in correct conduct and what is needed by the others more than me, and leaving it to the members of the Universal Council and Earth Council into one collective participation of the soul. Do the knowledge seekers want one in England just because they're working so much and they live there? Or do they see and trust the soul of the Universal Council to decide what is the best for humanity, as the English people can travel to another point till they receive? This is the purpose of the Keshe Foundation. Detachment from nationhood. Detachment from physicality. And not many knowledge seekers have matured to that point. I give has to be my name. I give has to be my nation. I give has to be my city. I give the totality of the soul of the universe. Mature to my point and see if you will enjoy existence more than what you do. We're not creating another Vatican. We're not creating another Jerusalem. We are not creating another Mecca. We're creating one planet and one universe. And then I wonder how many of you in the coming time think the citizens of that star or that galaxy are in suffering, that we can be there to to set. Man needs to extend his generosity of his soul beyond the dimension of his planet, the solar system, the galaxy, and universe he comes from, the way done by the Creator.
Construir esse trabalho da Fundação Keshe. Nós temos todas as provas, né, da própria escrita dela de adultério também, mas também nessa parte da própria Fundação Keshe.
Any other question, please?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. We have a question with, just a second here, with Antonio in the Q&A. Says, Mr. Keshe, the so-called miracle phenomena around the world, which I see as the science of nature, is this in part the signs for those who look for them of these great wise teachers who along with our space brothers and yourself in preparation of this new age of peace and sharing? And from my understanding, this will rapidly change mankind's development as we become aware of who we are. Many thanks, Mr. Keshe. Is that kind of the way that it could be looked at, or would you modify that?
When we come as messengers of the universal messengers, we come in different shapes and forms, and we come in the structure of enlightening the soul of the man. Some souls become aware of our presence long before the others, and they inform. In a way, we come to take mankind to a new level of understanding. We come to the point where collectively we transfer knowledge not only to the soul of the man, but to the soul of the universal community. And in so many ways, one by one, the souls, as they get enlightened, they inform people around them. Like your knowledge seekers, you learn about the GANs, you see the beauty of it, you learn, you teach it to your neighbors, to your children, to your parents, to your environment, people you work with. And some of the knowledge seekers of the soul, which have been with us as the students of man, long before we became in the public domain, they do their work. You got to realize, as I said to the Iranian officials, when I wrote the first papers, the first patent about nano batteries and nano materials, the Iranian scientists took it and they ran with it. And Iran became one of the leading nanotechnologies in the world. Initially through that paper alone. The same process goes. We teach, and some people hear the voice. They know of our presence. You got to realize something very important, and I go back onto it many times till you understand. We are born in the physicality of the man. We are trained in to understand the work of the man. At a given point, the soul of the creator opens up, which led to the creation of the physicality to start. I cannot teach about energy and others if I didn't have a degree in nuclear. And in that respect, you could trust the scientist, not somebody who just talks. This time we came to what man believes at the edge of the knowledge and technology, where in essence we carry two souls. The essence of the soul of the creator and the essence of the soul of the man. And two exist as one. This is my life. And you have to understand, the teaching is done by two dimensions of the creator. The knowledge is everlasting and is in both dimensions. We have to understand the culture of the man. We have to understand the pitfall of the existence of the man. And with it, we bring the knowledge of the creator that man will evolve. And this is the process. As I said, this cycle, the prophet of the soul and the science come together in one, that they can both be explained at the same time. I wrote this years before I opened the technology this way with the soul. It's not something new. The knowledge is the knowledge of creation. You have put any topics in about 20 years, from agriculture, medicine, space, energy. Anything you have put, we have delivered. But as you have not seen, some you don't understand, some doesn't make sense to you because you don't have the knowledge. We introduced you the Magra. How many of you have succeeded? But the Magra system is one of the most advanced technologies in the universe. It's access to universal energy if you understand what to do with it. And most of you, because of the lack of knowledge of the universal cosmic rays, understanding of the physical matter of electronics, you're all lost in it. And as my tradition, I do not do, I say what it is, show it, is for you to achieve it. The same, the most powerful system given to you is the 5 cups. Because you have to understand, it's like your alphabet. If you don't understand alphabet, how do you want to make a word? How do you want to make a sentence? You ignore the 5 cups principle understanding of interaction of the fields of the bottom cup to the top cup to the middle cup, how they create a bigger atmosphere, but at the same time, the magnetosphere of it dictates the interaction with the others. How do you want to live in the universe? How do you want to create position and condition to be able to exist? We put it in a very simple form. Very simple form. But that you can understand because the knowledge of the man is very basic. when you understand how the souls work, you can understand how the physicality works. Then you can interfere, then you can interact. And this is what happens. When we come, we enlighten many souls, but in essence is one soul. They are like prisms. They reflect the light of the origin. And it's the time for mankind to move into, as I said, move out of this village of earth. If you understand the work of the magnetic field of this planet, how it moves, how it positions itself, how interaction of the fields create day and night, how its slight deviation in angle creates the seasons. How come the man has still got a problem to go from Earth to Moon, let alone other dimensions? And that's why we came to correct it, for you to see it. You relied on burning. We showed you the way the universe works on the magnetic field interaction. That's all. You were not aware of the facts. We put it, and then you couldn't see how the big was. We gave you the cancers. You want to see how collectively they do. So we put it in the bowl and gave it to cancers. How it interacts in the field of open space. We gave you the 5 cups. There is so much knowledge. But as I said, many teachings, you keep on looking at the cup, what the gas is in there, but you don't look at what the gas as a field makes in that cup and what conditions it creates. So it's the same. And our essence is enlightening the soul of the man, and with it to bring peace. So you see, like the way you teach, as I said, to your family and friends about the GANs, those who have received the message of the higher order, they announce of the creation of the peace to come and the rest of it. But in essence, the light comes from the same origin. Depends which souls are enlightened. You're enlightened to the knowledge of the GANs, they are enlightened to the knowledge of peace. You've got to realize something, as I explained to a knowledge seeker very recently. With the knowledge we have and attachment of the man to financial dimensions, we could have created palaces and live like the rulers of this planet and become others you've seen by wealth who is now controlling, trying to control the man by vaccines and the rest. I never took that path because the true wealth is within knowledge of the soul of the creator that I carry. And I live a simple life as a man. It's much harder to live my life then choose the palaces and big temples and go the path that mankind has gone in the past. I'll live amongst you and I'll teach amongst you. When you know you can have more and you choose less, you understand how we are and how we live. I can make tons of gold and live a luxury life and do magics and make palaces and become like as you see. Make Jerusalems and Meccas and Tel Aviv and Haifas and the rest of it. But we don't choose. This time we live amongst the people to elevate the man that all become equal. I have made my home in your souls. That's where your temple is. Any other question?
Yes, we have a number of questions, and we have someone with their hand up, Azar. So perhaps you can go first, and we can address some of the questions in the Q&A.
Good morning, Mr. Keshe. I have one question, is from past teaching, because I was listening to them again. And that has to do, in one of the teaching you talk about when the soul of physicality is sitting on the heart, and then we have the man soul in the brain. And then you said the connecting of them and opening up the soul of the man has always been doing it. And we made the example of when you get to such an emotional, high emotion because something happened in your life, and then your physicality, the heart of physicality cannot handle it. You send that emotion, that energy field to the soul, and the soul does not accept it, so you get a stroke. If you have this information, this is one information you gave, and then I go back to another information. I'm trying to connect the two and see how we can create that field of energy field of the heart of physicality to the soul of the man, so we can open up the soul. So if we go back to when we're born, when we take the first breath, what happens is the lung get distended, the capillary get dilated, and then the blood start to flow. And in children, as they are in the womb of the mother, they're connected to the umbilical cord. And then the right atrium is communicating with the left atrium, which is the opening there, is a foramen ovale.
Dziękuję za dzisiejsze tłumaczenie. Myślę, że odpowiedź na to pytanie otrzymamy w następnym spotkaniu. Cofniemy się do tego pytania jeszcze raz. A teraz zapraszam, jeśli ktoś chciałby coś dodać, zadać pytanie. Bardzo serdecznie zapraszam. Nie mamy pytań, nie mamy wypowiedzi. Myślę, że każdy warsztat w pewien sposób cierpliwie dr Keshe nam tłumaczy. Powtarza, a my nie możemy tego jakby częściowo pojąć. Nie mówię w całości, ale myślę, że duszą jakby zapisujemy sobie te słowa, czytamy to się bardziej utrwala. Powtarzamy, łączymy to z wcześniejszych warsztatów. Słuchamy wypowiedzi innych ludzi, niekoniecznie tych wykładów, ale łączymy te kropki, budujemy systemy. Jeśli ktoś nie wybudował tego fizycznie, to w pewien sposób sam się zmienia jako system, układ planetarny, jak tu było powiedziane. Jesteśmy na podobieństwo. Tak więc zachęcam do powtórzenia sobie tego, robienia własnych systemów, próbowania odczuć pola, zobaczyć, może niekoniecznie fizycznie, ale okiem duszy, jak to oddziaływuje, poczuć to. I spróbować, tak jak ja to często robię, być w pewien sposób całym układem planetarnym tego ciała i odczuwać to, co się zmienia w nas i poprzez duszę, która zapisuje informacje w pewien sposób, tą wiedzę, którą jakby tutaj absorbujemy, nie tylko poprzez uszy, ale poprzez pola, które są w kolektywie wszystkich poszukiwaczy wiedzy. I w pewien sposób z dnia na dzień następuje ewolucja, u jednych mniej, wolniej, szybciej, ale w pewien sposób u każdego równo. Tak więc zapraszam na kolejne spotkanie. To były 408 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim z czwartku 22 października 2020 roku. Nie wiem, jak to będzie, czy to przyspieszy jeszcze bardziej, czy będziemy mogli to szybciej pojąć lub może zmieni się struktura oddziaływania. Także zobaczymy, jak to przetransferujemy, tą wiedzę. Dziękuję za przetłumaczenie. Życzę dobrej nocy i bądźmy w pokoju. Do usłyszenia. Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.